Am I the butthole for not telling my mom I changed my name? When I, 24 female, was 8 I lost my dad. When I was 10 my mom got married again. That same year she changed my name to my stepdad's, so we could all have the same last name. I did not want it. I begged her not to do it. She told me it would make their lives easier and it would make them happy. When I was 14 I asked my mom if I could change my name back. She was angry. I asked again when I was 16 and she was even angrier. Her anger both times came because her and my stepdad lost a baby together and he was never able to have kids of his own, so she felt like it was disrespectful because he had stepped up to help raise me if I tossed his name away like that. So when I moved out I petitioned the courts to change my name again and I got it turned back to my dad's. I was 18 and I never told my mom. Then she and my stepdad stopped by to see mine and my boyfriend's first house and she saw my name on my diploma, graduated last summer and there was no official ceremony because of COVID, and it all kicked off. For the last 7 months they have been really angry and generally not happy with me. My mom told me I owed it to them to say I had changed my name and by hiding it I had hurt them both so much more. The argument is still ongoing today because I don't really regret it. But now I am questioning if I should have told her and let her be angry. AITA? Not the butthole. Mom, I told you multiple times that I wanted to change my name, multiple times you said no. I had no power to legally change it being a minor, I changed it when I legally could. I'm sorry it hurts your feelings, but this is what I wanted. I hope you can take the time to look at it from my point of view. Changing my name doesn't change the way I care and love for you and X. Repeat till she gets it. Like literally every time she brings it up. I'm sorry it hurts your feelings, but this is what I wanted. I hope you can take the time to look at it from my point of view. Excise those 2 sentences and it'll be better. Yeah, the I'm sorry it hurt your feelings may be a bit much, but I don't see anything wrong with saying this is what I wanted since I was 14 and this is what she wanted since she was 10. She never wanted stepdad's name to begin with, her mom just never cared. What is it with parents and step-parents who think they can just replace a biological parent that died? It's completely unfair on the child. Much like she changed your name, without your regard, you changed it, without her regard. Yup, with the major difference that original poster actually took into account the opinion of the one who has to live with the name op themselves. They think the kid exists to make the parent happy whereas the parent should be there for the kid. Heck, it's even the generic movie tell that the step-parent is the bad guy when they try and replace the original. Really sucks for the forgotten parent too. Many die of illness, know it's coming, and know they will likely be replaced. My biggest fear right now is dying before my kids are old enough to handle it. Or even remember me. I hope they remember how much I love them, every kid deserves that. I know between the 2 options of not being replaced and the kids not having a mother figure that loves them, versus being replaced by someone who loves them, love is the correct answer, but it sucks. I hope they tell good stories about me sometimes at least. The third and best option are the step-parents who take on a loving parental role without trying to erase the biological parent. Unfortunately, this sub is littered with stories of overbearing step-parents who can't accept that they are the step, not biological parent. Yeah, it's always so weird that we get not the butthole votes here, but there was another story where a woman didn't want her stepmother to be a big part of her wedding because of decades-long strife and everyone flips out. People are weird sometimes. I've always had a different last name than my parents and siblings and literally no one cares. Mom just did the name change for vanity. Seriously. We are hoping to have my husband, has been daddy since son was 3, adopt our son. Son wants it, but often wavers on the last name because his bio father, abusive and then disappeared 4 years ago, really effed with his head where he feels like he'll be pissed and it's son's job to keep him happy. We won't be finalizing anything until our son is positive and at peace with the decision. It's such a huge, somewhat permanent change. This part seems fine to me. It's compassionate but firm. It's more compassionate than firm, and I think the time to show compassion, if ever, would be after the mother apologizes for her actions over the past decade and change. I have the sense that someone like the mother would perceive it as weakness at this point and redouble her efforts to guilt op. I disagree. I actually think that sentence is very well spoken. I think I understand why your feelings are hurt, or I'm sorry I hurt your feelings by not telling you I changed my name, is a more concise, genuine phrasing. I'm sorry with A but attached is not an apology. However, I don't think original poster has anything to apologize for and is not the butthole. You can always be sorry for hurting a person without being sorry for the action. Why? Better in what way? Maybe add in I don't care if I hurt your feelings doing this, because you have obviously never cared about my feelings on this subject. Not the butthole. Exactly. I might add a line about I didn't tell you because I knew it would hurt your feelings. Now please respect mine. Actively withholding information to control an outcome, or lack of one, feels bad to me. Versus I didn't tell you because it was a private decision I made for myself. Yeah. Or I didn't tell you because it was a private decision I made for myself, and because on all other occasions when I have expressed my preference for my dad's name, you have directed anger at me, and I wasn't willing to suffer that anger again. To be honest, in situations like these, with unreasonable people hellbent on being a victim of sorts, I personally try to say as little as possible to get my point across. Keeps the focus narrow and doesn't give people any more reason to feel like they're being attacked. But I grew up with a verbally abusive, narcissist parent, so that could just be a trauma response to get the F out of unproductive conflict as quickly as possible, laughing out loud. This is exactly why I sometimes go to some kind of attempt at a response to suggest, or state directly, this is how I have considered your feelings in the matter in the event I am found out. I'm the same as you in that I would rather avoid telling anyone anything, given how many unreasonable people I've come across in my life, who insist on being the victim. I have a narcissistic mother and I feel that I would do the same as you suggested if I were dealing with her. Nothing I could ever say would stop her from playing the victim in this situation, so there would be no point in arguing. I would take the other route if I were dealing with anyone else though. Mom, if you had respected my wishes from the beginning and not changed my name like I begged you, none of this would have happened. I'm sorry you feel like you could erase my biological father, but just because he died, it doesn't mean I have forgotten him. This is perfect, A-OK hand. I hate when someone consistently blows up over an issue they have no business blowing up over, then acts shocked when you stop speaking to them about said issue. It's like, sorry, got tired of being yelled at so I just cut you out of the equation, what did you expect? Yes. Honestly, this is the right way to say it. I would have said, Mom, you didn't listen to me when I had no legal choice, so now I don't give a F about what you say. You said it a lot better, man. Op could also say, when you changed my name away from my dad's name, were you trying to reject my dad? If that wasn't meant as a rejection of him, why is this a rejection of user stepdad? It's exactly the same. Also, I told you what I wanted when I was a kid and then again when I got older. I don't know why you assumed that my opinion would change or that I wouldn't get it done myself once I could, but that's not the same as me not telling you. I made my desires very clear. If your kid tells you when they're 8 that they really want a tattoo and then repeats that when they're 16, it doesn't take superpowers to guess that they'll get a tattoo once they're out on their own. Just because I didn't tell you afterwards doesn't mean it was a secret. See, I'm petty. You didn't think my feelings mattered when you changed it, so I didn't think yours mattered when I changed it back. If parents and step-parents want everyone to have the same last name, then the stepdad should change his name for the sake of the children. You don't make kids fit into your life, you build your life around your children. Not the butthole. She doesn't owe her mom an explanation. It's none of her business. Not the butthole, but definitely naive to think it wouldn't come up at some point, and it would probably have caused less drama if you had just told them after you had done it. But I can see why you didn't too. That last part is an important aspect of this. Changing her name really has nothing to do with how she feels about her stepdad. Regardless of whether he was a good father to her or not, or if they got along, it's completely understandable that someone would want to still be connected to their deceased father in some way or another. Not the butthole. I think it's strange you were forced to take the name in the first place. You had every right to change it back. I admit I have always resented her doing that. But I have tried to let it go over the last couple of years. Tell her if she hadn't changed it in the first place, there would have been no need for you to get it changed back. Especially since she ignored Op's expressed wishes to not change her name. She brought this on herself by forcing the issue to begin with.
Exactly.
She didn't get your permission when she did it to begin with, you just righted her wrong. Just say I changed my name when I could because you wouldn't let me when you could. So get over it because you don't have that level of control over me anymore. And just repeat this if she ever tries to bring it up or guilt you or anything ever again.
Of course you resent her for it.
She completely invalidated your feelings and treated you like an object. It's her turn now to let go of resentment. The two of you haven't ever wanted the same thing in this matter, but it's your identity.
You have the legal right to make this choice.
Telling her was always going to be a lose/lose for you. She was furious when you expressed your wishes as a kid, and furious again when she found out you'd followed through as an adult. She would have been just as angry if you had told her before you changed your name, but also treated it as a chance to persuade and or bully you into changing your mind. It would only have made you both feel worse in the end. You had no good options here in terms of her reaction. Now that it's done, she needs to make peace with your preference. Did your stepdad even adopt you? Seems kind of suspicious that you had no say in this. Explain she is erasing your father from your life. You love her new husband, but that doesn't mean your last name should match.
Your losing your father at such a young age was a traumatic experience.
She totally put her needs, to make stepdad feel good, above yours, making you the parent. He may have had an unhealthy insecurity about your father, and instead of your mom protecting you, which is her number one responsibility, she betrayed you to make him happy.
Your need to honor your father's memory as part of your identity was healthy and valid. Their need to erase the past came from insecurity.
Yet she chose him over you, which is not okay.
It's good you see that and changed your name.
Why would you have told her as she had already betrayed you, in her words, to make them happy? It is never a kid's job or responsibility to make her parents happy.
You should not be sacrificed for their unhealthy needs.
No kidding. She forced you to do that just 2 years after your father's passing. That's too soon for anyone in my opinion. And you were only 10, I'm so sorry, Op. I bet your father would be really proud of you right now and would love that you took his name back. You could write a long letter explaining all your feelings, and tell her that hearing an apology from her would help you forgive her. If you go this route, you'll want to start the letter with the kindest interpretation of her feelings.
Honestly, it would be more than she deserves.
But this is to make it more likely that she'll read the whole thing properly and be ready to hear your feelings. Something like, you understand that she wanted the name changed to unify the family, and you admire that her intentions were a close and happy family. Give her and stepdad as much praise and nice words as you can honestly say are true. Then hit her with how you were feeling through all this. This next party may hurt to hear, but if you want to understand me, please read and take this to heart.
Start your sentences with I, not you. You were a child who'd lost your dad.
You like, or respect or love or whatever is true, your stepdad. That's true, but doesn't change the fact that you'll always love your dad and he will always be remembered. Talk about how much hurt and powerlessness you felt when your own name was being changed and there was nothing you could do about it. Your dad had been taken from you, and now his name was being taken too. It was hard for you not to feel resentment. You've tried to let it go, but it's hard. You're ready to forgive now, if your mother is ready to apologize. When my sister got married, she didn't force her first son to take stepdad's surname. He made his own choice to change it about a year after because he felt weird being the only one with a different name. His dad passed away, so the surname was the only thing he had left. He might decide to change it back when he's older, but again, that'll be his choice. It did break my sister's heart a little bit, but also made her feel happy he wanted to be part of the new family with his half-brothers. Why some parents force these things on kids, I'll never know. I had a friend whose last name changed 2 or 3 different times in elementary school. I didn't get it as a kid, but as an adult it seems ridiculous to do that over and over to your kid. Not the butthole. I had a classmate who got me in trouble for calling her the wrong name after her second name change. Wish she had complained to her mom about constantly confusing everyone instead. Not the butthole. You are a person, not a possession. You can call yourself whatever you want and, quite frankly, she is lying to you when she says the reason she is upset is because you didn't tell her. The reason she is upset is because you changed your name. She'd have been just as upset no matter when you told her. That's just who she is. Not the butthole, for not telling her.
You are a person, not a possession. Write the F here. I had to say it out loud, that hit so good. Adding to my anti-narc repertoire.
Came here to say exactly this. Not the butthole, at all. My mother did this crap to me. She gave me her boyfriend's name, they didn't even get married.
When I was 11.
I now have 3 different birth certificates and different states recognize different names as my legal one. If she had just not done that, it'd be great. But she sees her kids as possessions and lives her own crazy perfect narrative where she is the best mother on earth. So this really just all about your mom, I think too. She made the choice for you and you aren't obeying it even though she thinks it's best, etc. Not the butthole. Not the butthole. 2 adults put their insecurities and wants over a young child who just lost their parent and was trying desperately to cling on to some familiarity.
This.
Not the butthole. You changed your name in secret because you knew she would throw a hissy. Since she couldn't unchange your name, she threw a hissy for your not telling her. Your mother wanted to control your name, you didn't let her, and now she's angry. You did the right thing for you. Your mother's being mad is her choice, it's not your problem.
Thank you for watching.
Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos.
If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends.
We welcome your comments below.
Press to start another of our videos.